what it is. Welcome
What's up,
to the
brother?
Iron Apex.
Welcome. I had to change my shit. The co-founder of Iron Apex as well because
Yeah,
I saw
bro,
you
you
had it last
can't be
time, and I
the,
was like, oh, I'm fucking sleeping over here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, but mine's so wordy now because I'm like Pro Care Consulting. You're just LPOM because you fucking. I'm just gonna put mine as PC and call myself
PCC. It's kind of like
PCC,
being down with
Pro Care
OPP. Yeah, you know me.
I'm a PCC. Yeah, you know me. Damn, little naughty by nature. I love it.
Heck yeah, bro. It's never too early for Naughty by Nature on a Tuesday afternoon.
Tuesday afternoon, man. Love it.
Tuesday afternoon. Yeah. So how's it going?
Great, brother. My truck died in the parking lot today. The battery died. I was like one of those things. I was at the getting my oil changed like 2 months ago, and the guy's like, "You need a battery," and I was like, "Put one in." And he's like, "Well, we're out of batteries," and I'm like, "Well, then why would you even mention to get a new battery if you don't have a battery to sell me? Like, the fuck am I doing here?" He's like, "Well, just go down to the store and get a battery," and I'm like, "Okay, I'll do that." I never did it. Of course, I never did it. Right. So then I'm sitting in the parking lot today. It's like, tick, 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 and I was
Oh,
like,
that's the worst sound when you're clicking.
Yeah. So then I had to get a new battery today. It like the whole thing, and I was like, "Oh my gosh!" I did hit the
batteries are like
$300
$300 now, especially for a big. Was it for your Tundra?
I'm a vet, so I get 10% off.
Oh, come on now!
And I made friends with the store manager at the AutoZone, so he gave me an additional 10% off. So I got 20% off. So I was like,
"Well, there you go, bro."
I was like $250. It was $250.
That pays for the gas to get over there anyway.
It's in the neighborhood, man. I keep my shit. You've been where I live, so it's like I keep my shit tight. There's like everything I need in like a 2-mile block.
Oh, speaking of which, while I'm thinking about it, while I'm talking to you, we're working on recruiting some agents for you, but we wanted to double check. Our understanding is you have to be licensed or something in each county or something.
No, in Florida.
Yeah.
No. Texas,
we can go anywhere.
Good.
Okay, perfect. So we were only going to look at. There's like 17,000 potential candidates in Tampa area, but
so saturated, bro. And it's wild because like a lot of them are with like Golden Outlooks and all these FMOs that like literally do nothing. And it's funny because I met this girl last week at a doctor's event, which I usually don't go to doctor events, but I'm like, dude, I'm gonna start going more to more of them, right? And these are people I know, and at least I catch up with some people. Maybe they teach me a little nugget, and I get a little thing, a little thing that I can, use. Rare it happens, but I was there with this Humana guy. He's like, I want you to introduce you to my daughter. And I met his daughter, and she's an agent. And I was like, why don't you walk me through what you're doing? She's like, well, I'm, in this county, and my upline is 6 counties away. I said, oh, how does that been working out for you? She's like, it's terrible. No, there's no direction. There's no nothing. And I said, well, okay, walk me through what you need direction with. And she's like, I don't know what to do with my book of business. I don't know what to do other than be in a Walmart. And I was like, who's paying for the Walmart? She goes, well, now I got to pay for the Walmart. I said, oh, Walmart's pretty expensive now, right? She's like, yeah, I can't afford it. So now I can't do the Walmart. I don't know what else to do. I said, how long have you been doing this for? She's like, 4 years. I said, so Medicare and you got a book of business. I said, how many communities do you have? And she's like, well, I got like 1 and I'm working on another. And I said, okay, well, you need more of those. I said, how many doctor partners you work with? She's like, I just started working with doctors. I said, you've been in this business 4 years and you're just now working with doctors? Like, you got to leverage that. And I was like, how are you keeping track of all your business? How are you keeping track of all your clients? She goes, Google Sheets. I said, Google what? She goes, Google Sheets. And I said, what? And she's young, dude. And I'm like, wait, no, your upline's not providing you with the CRM. She goes, what's a CRM? And I said, holy shit. I said, listen, we're going to have a meeting. I said, I'll have my assistant reach out to you and we'll have a meeting. So I'm meeting with her next week, man. But I'm like, I got to save this person. Like,
we gotta incentivize, help people incentivize what actually makes them successful. Speaking of which, what I want to do, we've had at least 2 to 6 viewers at a time here today. What I'm going to offer is a cash prize of $25 Venmo to a lucky winner. All you have to do is comment on the stream so it shows up, so that we get the proof it shows up, and then you're entered into the drawing. So if only one person makes the comment, you're guaranteed to get the win. But we need more engagement. We need you to share this podcast, and Fleet doesn't know it yet, but I'm going to be pushing for us to do our first training event by the end of May. So we're gonna try to do an actual Zoom training, and I think we'll probably put a poll out. But if not, in my experience, you put a poll out, nobody votes anyway. But for me, we could do a training on grassroots, or what I call deep roots marketing, which is the low-lying fruit. What I would say is, I used to be an initiative I would hand a brand new agent right out the gate to get going. I've kind of flipped that now. What you need to do when you're in the beginning is you need to have someone who has a system to plug into for leads and activity to get yourself some momentum. Because now to go into, like for what Philippe's saying, go into a doctor's office, that's great. But if you're competing against a doctor's office that already has a relationship with someone like me or Philippe, there's no way you'll ever get in the door.
No.
And so what you need to do is build up the skill sets so that when you go into one of these facilities, you know what you're talking about. You walk the talk. And more importantly, you talk the talk, but more importantly, you walk the talk. And so that's the key part of it. But we're going to do a training this week on how to generate activity, and we'll leave it up to you. Like I can go over what I've learned about webinars. I can go over what Philippe can go over what he's learned about seminars. I can go over what I learned about seminars. Like that's the hot topic right now. People are trying to pitch their seminar system and this and that and sell this and sell that. And reality is we could totally sell you a seminar system. We could also totally do a Zoom that you put a little skin in the game so we get rid of all the creepers and all the cheapers. But what we want to do is we want to help people write more business. But what I can tell you is in the last month alone, it's not even my focus, Philippe, but in the last month alone, I've written 4 or 5 annuities, 7 or 8 life insurance policies, and 15 Medicare policies.
Yeah.
And not one of them was a referral this time.
Yeah.
Which historically, most of my business comes from referrals. I'm still getting referrals, but now I'm diverting most of those referrals to Erin.
Yeah, build her book up, separate it, right? Absolutely.
We need the heads to bet, and I need to have more time to spend with people like you, people on our team, people in the community, recruiting, growing. And there's a big void for all of us. Recruiting is no different than getting leads. Recruiting is basically an agency trying to find leads of people they can sell their system and process to. And Erin and I were talking about that today. Every place we've ever gone, whether we've gone with that upline or not, they've all told us the same stuff, that they have a system, they have a process, they have this, they have that. And the reality is, if you really got to see under the hood, 85% of them are selling you on something they don't have.
Yeah, 100%. And
right?
then their system is like, well, hey, we'll help pay for the event that you put on. And it's like, that's not a
system
strategy or a system to recruit people. I mean, I could do that. So you're telling me I got to find the people, I got to come up with a list, I got to email them, I got to invite them, I got to get them to show up, I got to pick the venue, and you're going to pay for 50% of the venue, as long as it's $250 or less. And it's like, dude, what is that? That's annoying. Like, and I've had this happen to me multiple times where I'm like, I don't have the time to do the recruiting. And I've always been like, I need a system where I can just plug and play. Cause like, how can I say this in a nice way? Starting from scratch is bullshit. You're a fucking idiot if you start from scratch. It sounds cool. It sounds really cool. Oh, I started from scratch. This bullshit. I don't want to start from scratch. I want to find someone that's already invented the wheel, and I just want to plug that shit in and make it and hybridize it to my style.
You know who else started from scratch? Lewis and Clark.
Yeah.
You know who wants to not do what they did? Me. I'd much rather put into Google Maps Philippe's address and it tells me when to turn and where, what traffic to avoid, versus blazing the sale myself. Now, there's more honor on some level if you have a big ego on doing it from scratch. The reality is it takes longer, it takes more money. You'll probably quit before you get to the end. The reality is those people that built it from scratch, you have no idea the psychoticness they put themselves through to get to where they got. Exactly. You have no idea the sacrifices. You have no idea the hard work, the pain, the suffering, how many times they quit but didn't quit and then quit again and then unquit. And
stuck back in.
Man, I probably quit 4 times this weekend alone.
Yeah.
While I was sitting there jigging, not catching a damn thing. Shout out to my brothers. Wouldn't you know, Philippe? The moment I leave, the next 2 days they slam fish. They were sending pictures like all day long. Now I started to wonder, maybe it was me.
Out of here, man. Get this
maybe
guy
it was
out of
me. And that's the same way with I was thinking. That's what I was thinking the whole time, Philippe. Is I was like, damn, this fishing thing feels a whole lot like being an agent. Because there's days you could have the perfect lure. And here's how I know, Philippe. The frustrating part was the technology my brother's friend Robert has on his boat has this thing called Live Scan. I don't know if you've ever been on a boat with this stuff, but it's basically a Doppler ultrasound radar where you get to watch the fish swim in. You know when the fish are there, and we'd be sitting there, the fish are there, they'd look at the lure, not bite. They would just come in, sniff, and leave, which is a lot like
that'd
leads
be
sometimes.
annoying knowing that, you know what I mean?
Dude,
Like, I'd
it
rather
gave
not
you
know.
false hope. It gave me a bunch of false hope for 2 days, which is the same thing. Sometimes
It's our
I've done
business,
lead
yeah.
initiatives where, like, the first 6 months I did veteran leads, bro. I generated like 50,000 leads in 6 months,
Yeah.
but not one of them got closed.
Yeah.
So it's the same thing. A bunch of them came up to
D-Snip.
the
I did the
lure,
same thing with D-Snip
look at the
campaign.
lure. No one bought, no one bit, and I didn't catch jack squat. And sometimes that's the way it is. And you know, most of the time in fishing, especially fishing and leads, there's so many analogies that tie in together with this stuff. But if you didn't know this, on any body of water, whether it's a pond in your local neighborhood or the biggest Lake Erie, any body of water, the fish are only in 10% of the surface. So you have a 90% chance of catching no fish without advanced technologies, tactics, understanding how structure and other things work, where the fish are supposed to be. Same thing with this. Like, people don't understand how big the pond is of Facebook marketing. And when you're like, it sounds really cool to target 5 million people, but honestly, you're better off targeting 5,000 people with a good strategy targeting that fish than you are targeting the whole ocean.
You're
trying to fish
right.
with. It's like trying to fish for shark with night crawlers. Like, you might get lucky and it might accidentally hook itself swimming by, but it is not going to bite the worm if you have a worm on a hook.
You're right. Like, I live in Florida and I don't fish because I won't fish with friends because I'm like, dude, I'm not fishing with you. I will hire a professional fishing charter and go fish on a professional fishing charter because
guided fishing is so much better.
Doing shit from scratch. This guy's literally going to be like, hey man, you're going to catch like 20 fish today, and I'm like, cool, bet.
Yeah.
Puts the thing on, I throw it in.
Yeah, they go, what kind you want to catch?
Them out.
Right.
Fuck it.
Yeah.
It's the same thing with leads. And I know that you don't use ad managers because ad managers have burnt you, and they burnt me too. It took me like 16 ad managers to finally find one that was worth the shit, that was actually doing well for me, that understood my process and understood my madness and all that stuff. And now I love her, which, by the way, I'm trying to get you and her connected today. I don't know if you saw that in your calendar or an invite for that.
Yeah, I did see that.
Did you see that? Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, it's the same thing with leads, like you're saying. Most people will be like, well, Facebook doesn't work or this doesn't work. And you start to ask them some questions and they just didn't know what they were doing. And they thought, well, there's 5 million people I can advertise to. You'd think at least one of them would answer. And I'm like, nah, dude, you understand your total addressable market, but you have to understand what your ideal client is before you can even look at your total addressable market. Because the total addressable market for Medicare is massive. It's fucking massive. They're just like, which ones do you want to go after? Because it's not so simple anymore, where it used to be like you could do all these age groups. Now it's 64 plus. That's the age group for Facebook, guys. 64 plus. Holy shit, that's a big total addressable market. So you really start to break down what it is that you're trying to do and how you're trying to do it, right? That's why organic always works when you have organic and you do paid by leads. Because then if someone just cross-references you and starts to check on you and they're like, oh, well, this guy's got 30,000 followers. This guy's got, hundreds of thousands of views. Like, that plays into the reputation of why they're going to choose you over the other 90 people that are running ads to the same demographic at the same time, right? And timing matters too. Most ad managers, they do at the top of the hour. It's literally the worst time to post an ad or post anything is at the top of the hour. It's the worst because you're getting flooded with everybody else. It's got everything on autoplay, right? You're getting sucked into the mainstream, that 90% where you ain't going to catch shit. You got to get into that perfect 10%, and the algorithm is consistently changing. So if you don't have somebody that's watching those patterns, just like you said with fishing, the currents or the weather or the moon or whatever, waxing, waning moons and all that shit has gravitational pull, and the fish do this and do that. I don't know if that's true, but it sounds like it's somewhat biologically fucking accurate. But if you don't know that stuff, you're never going to catch anything. And Facebook is like the ocean, right?
No, it is. I'm gonna pull up right now. And I'm gonna do a screen share real quick.
Please do.
Because if people don't know how to do this, one, it's a good thing to show them. But two, this illustrates the point, like literally specifically, to where, like, I can go to Meta's ad library. I just type in all ads and put in Medicare. There's 27,000 active ads. So you have to think about it. You're at the lake, and even let's say you're on the ocean. The biggest lake there is. You're on the ocean, but there's 27,000 boats all fishing for the same fish you're going after. And some of them, I don't know if you've ever been on the water before, but I usually don't have the biggest, best, baddest boat on the water.
Nope.
And there's always some guy or gal or whoever that has a much bigger boat with a much bigger, like when I was fishing with Robert, just the boat I was on, I had 2 rods with me and 1 bag of tackle. He literally had 16 rods hidden all over the boat, and each of them had a different lure on. So his process to change what he was fishing with was just open the hatch, grab a different rod, and start fishing immediately. If I wanted to switch bait, I had to cut the line, I had to find the new lure, I had to tie it on, I had to make adjustments, I had to do all these different things to get ready to go again. And the people that are fishing or advertising on a commercial level, because you have to remember, these ads includes a bunch of people where their whole job in existence is a lead company. Like their whole existence is all they're doing is fishing. They don't even give a crap about catching them. They just tell you where the fish are, so to speak.
Commercial, so, they're throwing the giant nets out, right? They're commercial fishermen. They're going to kill the small guy. I mean, holy shit. I mean, the fish actually has an economy, like codfish and all that stuff. That's like a massive commodity for certain countries, right? The commercial fishers are killing the local fishermen. Why? Because they're throwing a bigger net, and they have the money. So
it's true.
Can. So you got to think about who you're competing against, right? And then it's also the mistake a lot of people make. If you don't do this, if you don't go to a Facebook ads library, of course, obviously it's a lot easier now because you can just use Manus, right? You can have Manus, just give them an idea of what you're trying to do. It's going to go in and pull all the ads from like things that are similar to what you're trying to run. Have AI do all this for you guys. It's easy. He's just showing you what the ad library looks like.
I'll show you what Manus does too.
Yeah, this is the best place to go when you're trying to figure out what should I do. This is what ad managers do for you, right? Now you can do this yourself and you can train yourself. You go down this rabbit hole and do all this stuff, or you just get a good ad manager. But that's a rabbit hole too, because you got to find one that actually works, understands your industry, has time, and it's always the person that's selling you from the ad manager. They're not running your ads. It's some other person that's in the Philippines making $3 an hour that's running your ads, but you're paying the ad manager $1,500 a month to do it for you. So you got to be careful with those traps.
That's the truth. It's the absolute pure truth. And so, I mean, the ad library is great, but using AI to then queue down the ad library and then go even steps further, like this is such the, like this, honestly, this is like using a calculator to do math. And you're using just the basic on the table, push button, 5 buttons and a plus and minus sign versus someone who knows how to use a scientific calculator. And so there's different levels of understanding how AI technology works. But if you're not even just using it for this basic stuff to figure out, okay, I want to go fishing, right? And so I was having this conversation with my staff today, like if we're not in a position, so if you as an agent are not in a position to go through the painful process of starting from scratch, because here's what I'll tell you. Philippe says don't do it from scratch, but the reality is if you can figure it out, it's the most cost-effective, most controllable, most scalable way to do it. But the problem is you got to have a bunch of money and or staff or both to be able to put that in. Now, AI changes that dynamic some.
But that's not starting from scratch when you use AI, because AI is going to be able to give you find the clues to let you know what you should be doing and what you shouldn't be doing, right?
It'll at least give you a starting point where you have a head start and you're not starting from scratch. So AI removes the starting from scratch if you leverage the technology. But don't use it like Google. Like you're not doing a Google search here. You need to talk to it like it's your employee, like it's an assistant, and it's the prompting. You'll hear Philippe and I talk about prompting and scripting a lot. How you talk to your employee determines how productive they are. How you talk to AI determines how much it's going to help or hurt you, because AI can hurt you and what you're trying to do just as much as it can help you if you don't know how to ask it questions, how to cross-reference. So if it's a big, important task, I would leverage at least 2 or 3 different AIs to see if you get the same answer. And just like having a team of people, why do you need a board of directors for a company? Well, because oftentimes one person can get a clouded vision, can get a tunnel vision, can get lost in the daisies, all these other moving parts, and having other people or entities to keep you accountable, taking multiple votes in is usually the best course of action. But if you're not using something as simple as the ads library, and so again, you can use this, you can really dial in and get specific, and you can say Medicare supplement,
you can do Advantage,
instead of just Medicare. You can do food cards. You can do all these different things to see, what is working. And what I can tell you is you can usually tell what's working by how long it's been running. Like if you look and you see this ad started running on 11 of 2025, they've now been running it for 6 months. But I can scroll over here, and this one's been running since June 12th of 2024.
Yeah.
Do you think someone's been running this ad since June 12th, 2024, and it's not working?
Exactly. And you can dig even deeper and you can see some of the KPIs on these numbers, right? Like you can open it up, you can see the KPIs with their key performance indicators.
Details. Right? You can then see what it actually looks like. You can see about the advertiser. They only have 77 followers, all this kind of stuff.
Which doesn't matter. Like when you're running ads, it doesn't matter how many followers you have on the account that you're running the ad from. But when you start to circumvent, you click on like his Mr. whatever it's M. McGregor, Medicare, whatever, and you start to dig on there, and maybe he's got great SEO, great AEO, right? And you can start researching on what they're doing, and you start to follow the clues, right? Because that's what any good ad manager is going to do for you. And yes, if you're starting out and you have no money, you can't afford $1,500 a month for an ad manager and then have to pay for the actual ads, right? Because if you're running ads on average, any ad manager is going to tell you you're starting at $30 a day, and that's every day for the entire month. So $30 a day, guys, it's
$1,900 a month.
Yeah, $1,000 a month plus the $1,500 in ad manager. That's $2,500 a month, and you ain't going to see shit. For the law of large numbers in marketing is 90 days. Those are the life cycles of. And by the way, what do you have to do? An A/B split. So you're not only spending $30 a day, you're actually paying $60 a day. So you're actually spending $2,000 a month on top of the $1,500. And the ad manager that you run, he might charge you $1,500 per ad set. So you might only get one ad, and then you have to pay another $1,500 to have them run the other set. And you always have to do an A/B split test in marketing. Always, always, always. And the weirdest thing is right into day 45, you're going to find out, shit, I should use a different font. I should do a different border color, change it from yellow to red. And it literally will change everything. Because you have to know, you have to understand. Now, Josh, you know this because you went through it. I know this because I went through it. You have to study your KPIs and be like, oh, does my landing page suck? Does my offer suck? Does the color of my button suck? Does my call to action suck? Or does my actual ad suck? Because I can't tell you how many people change their ad, but their ad's a winner. It's all the other stuff that sucks. Their website sucks. Their Google sucks. Their GMB sucks. Everything else sucks. But the ad is great. And then they cancel that and they start over again. And it's
it's like using the right lure to go fishing. You just use the wrong tackle, the wrong line, the wrong reel.
Yeah.
So the line breaks every time you catch a fish, and you just don't know that the lure was right, but the tackle was wrong, or the line was wrong, or the whatever it is. And so, like, I didn't realize I wasn't sharing the whole thing, but as an example, I've heard of this guy, and I've seen that the ads are strong. So if you're going to copy
Medicare School, dude, that
Medicare
guy's
School,
got great YouTube.
You click on Learn More.
YouTube is strong.
Right. You go to Learn More, and now you can see exactly what the landing page of this person that you know is working is doing, and you can go through. Okay, what questions are they asking?
And you know what's crazy? You can literally copy that URL and plug it into ChatGPT and have ChatGPT give you ideation.
Right here.
And take that ideation and put it into Claude and have Claude give you more refined, and then put it into Manus and actually recreate the whole thing. 1, 2, 3 step. Bop, 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 bop.
Yeah. Use your AI, please. Like, use your AI for something more than.
Now you went straight to Manus, right?
No, just because that's a tab I had open.
Right.
There is a process. Manus has its strengths, but Manus is you got to pay for everything it does. Like just me typing in that task, it probably cost me $5 or something stupid.
Yeah, that's why I always use ChatGPT for ideation, the creation of an ID. Then you want to use Claude to refine the idea and ask you more questions to refine it to what your specific target is. Then once you have a specific action that you're like, yes, that's the action I want to do, you put that into Manus, because Manus is the doing bee. It's the worker bee. Manus will actually do what you want it to do. Where ChatGPT and Claude, they're still kind of more of an idea
philosopher machine. And ideas.
Yeah, exactly, right. And even DeepSeek, right? You can do DeepSeek, and you can separate whether you want it to think or whether you want it to seek. Like, do you want me to find factual information and give you facts, or do you want me to think on this in a spatial level? Like, it's nuts, guy. Like, or Jasper. Like, there's all these. And listen. If you're using fucking Copilot, get off this podcast. We don't want to talk to you, okay? Do not use Copilot unless you work for a company that locks you out of everything, and then they only let you. There's a reason why companies, Fortune 500 companies, will lock you out of all AI except for Copilot, okay? It is the worst, dude. It is the worst. And Gemini is pretty bad too, but, whatever.
Yeah.
Anyhow,
So
I digress.
we started a little bit late, but we have a couple minutes left. We still have one comment. All one of you has to do is make a comment, and you would literally win $25 because you'd be the only one in the contest.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty easy. Right? Maybe they don't need money, right? I mean, that's a
yeah. You can offer free money, and it's amazing. People won't take the one small action that it would take to get that money. But it's just another microcosm of what the whole purpose of this, what we're doing is most people need not only the map, but they also need like today. My brothers came home today from Wyoming or from Utah and Wyoming. All of them went different directions. There was a storm coming through. And so even though my brother, who lives close to me, was going to take the same exact path I took basically to get home, he got halfway down I-80 and they shut the highway down because of the weather.
Look at that.
And so in addition to having the map, you also got to have a weather map. You also got to have other intel to help yourself avoid making expensive mistakes, because driving the wrong direction, knowing that, I would guarantee my brother would have much rather known that I-80 was going to be closed before he got to where it was closed and then had to divert versus diverting the path from the beginning. And this is an example of using your AI technology to figure out, okay, what is the map? And then go more than just what's the path. Find out what the weather's going to be like when you get there. Find out ask questions to ChatGPT and Claude and Manus and whatever you're using to, okay, what am I not considering? What could go wrong? All these other questions that you should be asking yourself up front. Because if you're going to plan something, actually plan it. And I promise you, any good event you've ever been to was rigorously and religiously planned. They thought about what could go wrong, or they haven't planned before and something did go wrong. So guess what happens every time from then on, right? Those expensive mistakes we make are the ones that are the most effective.
Correct.
Right. And so, but plug in, the days of being able to just grassroots your way into a business in this industry specifically, and probably most industries because of AI, it's going to be very difficult. Think about it. Why would a doctor's office partner with you when they can partner with somebody who's created an AI system to do the same thing that you do, but with robotic precision, with never getting tired, never calling in sick,
with consistency in numbers, because at the end of the day, they want to see results in numbers. And it's funny that you bring this up, Josh, because is literally why I'm being flown out to Detroit and getting paid thousands and thousands of dollars. It's a talk specifically on this, because I have an entire method that takes all the guesswork out of using GPTs, meaning that there's a way that you can create a document that is it's downloading your brain into a document. Then you plug that document into a GPT. From that document and that GPT, you then can create a staff. That staff would be a chief operating officer, a chief revenue officer, chief technology officer, chief sales officer, and customer service, and a compliance officer, and a recruiting officer, where you create an executive level of people that every time that you type something into your GPT, you no longer need prompts, because your executive team is now questioning it, and they will literally fight with each other. Well, you'll have a marketing GPT that'll say, hey, I've got this great idea. And then your compliance officer steps in and says, hey, but you got to change X, Y, and Z. And you'll see them conversating. I mean, I can fucking show you. It's insane. So that's why I'm going to Detroit.
Let's show them a little peek of that next week. Next week, let's show a little, just think of some rudimentary example of that. We'll just throw a short, small demo. And I think we make that one of our, I think we wait till after your conference, but maybe we do a workshop on that specific topic sometime in July or August, right before AEP.
Workshop for sure, because people literally pay me $1,500 just for the course, right? And never mind the do it for you. They got to pay me $5K to do it for them, right? Because
that's too low.
But I'll show you guys. I'll show you what it looks like, and then you'll be like, "Holy shit, what?" Just so you understand the principles. Now, if you want to put in all the work, the hours and hours and hours, and how to work, and buy the little course that literally outlines everything, all the questions you need to ask, everything, all the prompts, everything to build it all. Absolutely, we'll have that. We're going to have all of that available for everybody. It's going to be amazing, but it'll blow your mind. You got to learn how to use AI and GPTs properly, not just hey, write me an email that doesn't sound like me, and is a font that doesn't exist in email.
You copy and paste it, doesn't look right.
Copy and paste it, right? Like I had a broker send me one, and I was like, dude, come on, man. Like, what the fuck are you doing here? Like, this is obviously copy and paste, and it doesn't sound like you. So, I mean, who wrote this? You know? So,
right.
Yeah, do yourself a favor, man. Simple stuff.
Simple stuff makes big impacts. And so
100%.
Again, thanks for tuning in to another episode of the Iron Apex. No one made a comment, so the $25 will carry over to next week, and we'll do a $50 prize for next week, I guess. Yeah. Maybe someday we can get someone to make a comment. But we're doing this for you, whoever's watching, not for us. Like we are handsome men, and we love being on camera, obviously. But we're not doing this for us. We're doing this for you, for the people, because we want to lead with faith, leadership, and peak performance. And so today we really focus on the peak performance part of things, because leveraging ad library, AI to create your own marketing. Again, that's an example of not having to start from scratch, where you might very well be starting from scratch, but now you don't have to, because you got the right information to get the right start, to where you're not starting from square one, you're starting from square 50. And starting from square 50 versus square one exponentially saves you time, money, energy, pain, and potentially quitting altogether. Yeah, and so, thanks for tuning in. We'll see y'all next Monday. And again, just to remind everyone, within some shorter period of time than longer, we're going to turn these Tuesday ones into pre-recorded, not live. And we're going to do the Thursdays every 2 weeks with a much more powerful live session. But again, tune in on Thursday. Is it this week? Yeah, it is this week.
Thursday this week.
So Thursday the 7th at 4 p.m. Mountain, 5 p.m. Central, 7 p.m. or 6 p.m. Eastern. I lost my math there. And I guess if you're in Alaska, you got to wake up at the butt crack of dawn. Or Hawaii is even earlier than that.
Let me get some Hawaii agents, man.
We would love some help in Hawaii agents. It would give us a reason to go out there and train somebody.
For sure. I'd love it, man.
But thanks for tuning in. We'll see you all in the next podcast and or training near you.
Awesome. God bless, guys.